With the Madden Ultimate Team season just around the corner, it's important to find a reliable site. Introducing MUTReserve.com. Find all your coin needs there, and while you're there, make sure to use code RENDER for 15% off. What's up, guys? Render back again with another Madden video, and we are once again in the office of the Jets. Adam Gase, I don't know why you're still a coach for the Jets. You are not promising, and the Jets looks to be a very mediocre team, but nonetheless, we're back in this bright green office with another Madden simulation. The last two videos, we've done simulations for quarterbacks, for running backs, and this time I wanted to test out receivers. I want to test out two rookie receivers in particular, both CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. CeeDee Lamb, of course, playing for the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jeudy playing for the Denver Broncos. I want to see who has a better rookie season, who has better individual stats, who has a better team record, and who potentially wins Rookie of the Year. Now, of course, we know if you've watched the past two videos, Justin Herbert owns that Rookie of the Year trophy, and nobody's taking it from him. But potentially, if you will, Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb have the potential to take that from him. So before we get into today's video and simulation, I do ask that if you enjoyed today's content, you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Without further ado, let's go look at our players. All right, our first guy, CeeDee Lamb, is standing at 76 overall, 6'2" in height, and 198 pounds soaking wet. Pretty solid overall for a CeeDee Lamb with a rookie season. He has hidden development as well, so he will most definitely at least reach superstar potential. As for stats that we can look at, or attributes, 90 speed, so pretty quick. Solid catching at 85. His short, medium, and deep are all high 70s. So overall, a very solid overall player for CeeDee Lamb's rookie season. Now, as for, let's look at the rest that we have here. We have ball carrier vision is pretty solid. Change of direction, again, I'm going to commentate on that all the time. Change of direction is kind of like the human joystick, if you will. If the higher they have, the more ability they have to really manipulate and contort their body when they are moving in open field or in a very tight situation. All right, our second receiver that we are looking at and simulating their rookie season today is Jerry Jeudy, standing at 6'1" with a 76 overall rating. So again, right on par with CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jeudy just a little bit shorter, I believe, which is okay. He has hidden potential as well, so he has the opportunity to have a high developmental trait. As for attributes, 91 speed, so a little bit faster than CeeDee Lamb. Very good acceleration and catch, a little bit lower in catch, but he has better short, medium, and deep route running, which I think is a fair assumption. In my opinion, Jerry Jeudy was the best route runner by far in this rookie class, and so I think EA did a good job with giving him the best route running stats. As for agility, 93, I do want to look at change of direction because that's also an important thing. 90, so he has the best change of direction out of the two. So overall, both Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb seem to be pretty equivalent in regards to a lot of their stats. As who has the better season, I'm going to take an assumption or a guess and say that CeeDee Lamb does. The Cowboys, for some wild reason, like to throw the ball a ton with Dak Prescott, and so we could more than likely see CeeDee Lamb have potentially, I'm going to say 800 receiving yards this season. Jeudy, I think, will be very close with that, but maybe we see CeeDee Lamb have a couple more breakaway touchdowns. So let me know in the comment section, who do you think is going to have a better season in the simulation and as well as regular season? If we're talking regular season, I think Jeudy has a better chance to, because there's less receiving options in Denver. Cowboys have a ton of receiving weapons, such as Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. Adding CeeDee Lamb as a third option, it'll be interesting to see how he does in the regular season. All right, ready to simulate the season. Predictions in the comment section below. Again, I already have mine, views expressed. But without further ado, let's simulate. All right, for CeeDee Lamb, at that midway point of the season, he has 25 receptions for 363 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. In comparison to Amari Cooper, he has less receiving yards, but he is leading the team in receiving touchdowns. So a very solid start for CeeDee Lamb. We can check to see if he has any rushing attempts. I'm going to say probably not, because Ezekiel Elliott runs that show, right? And it looks like no, CeeDee Lamb doesn't have any rushing attempts. But overall, pretty impressive for the halfway point for CeeDee Lamb. I think he's right on track to get around 800, 900 yards. And we could even see some double-digit touchdowns for CeeDee Lamb. All right, as for the Broncos, Jerry Jeudy is a lot farther down the list. He has 29 receptions for only 243 yards. Now, to be fair, he does have 5 touchdowns, so he is beating out CeeDee Lamb in regards to touchdown grabs, which is very solid. We can check for rushing yards. Again, I don't think Jeudy will probably have any rushing yards, but you never know. Yep, no rushing yards for Jerry Jeudy whatsoever. But overall, what am I seeing so far? It looks like CeeDee Lamb's going to end the season with a lot more receiving yards, but we could potentially see Jeudy end up with more touchdown grabs. So once again, this is the halfway point. We still have another half of the season to go. Let's check out the overall records for each individual team. All right, as for the NFC East, the Cowboys are actually standing at a 3-5 record. Not really in playoff contention. The Eagles are 8-0, actually the best team in the NFL, it seems, which I didn't see that one coming. But the Cowboys are sitting currently at 3-5, potentially on the cusp of a wild card berth. But in the meantime, they're going to have to get a lot more wins in order to be considered for that. As for the Broncos, a 4-3 record, very, very close to the top of their division. They're right there with the Kansas City Chiefs for a playoff berth, so we could definitely see the Broncos clinching a playoff berth by the end of the season. And Jerry Jeudy, definitely with the touchdown grabs, is contributing. All right, if we're looking at Offensive Rookie of the Year, CeeDee Lamb is leading the NFC in regards to Offensive Rookie of the Year. If we look at AFC, though, we can see that Jerry Jeudy is only 6th. So I guess the argument is who has a more deep class of rookies, the AFC or NFC. I would definitely say AFC with Burrow, Herbert, Tua, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's going to be very difficult for Jerry Jeudy to, I think, claim that Offensive Rookie of the Year crown, whereas CeeDee Lamb is competing with a bunch of average receivers and very low-end running backs. So CeeDee Lamb might get the Rookie of the Year for the NFC. Is it as a triumphant win comparing to Jerry Jeudy? Probably not, but a win is still a win. All right, as for the midseason mark, the Jets are 4-4. I'm disappointed once again in myself, but here we are at the midseason mark. Let's simulate to the playoffs and see where our teams and rookies stand. All right, for the end of the season, CeeDee Lamb saw an uptick in receiving yards, and he ended his rookie season with 756 receiving yards on 45 receptions with a whopping 10 touchdowns on the season. So he definitely led this offense for the Cowboys in regards to receiving with touchdowns and reception yards. Amari Cooper, once again, had way more receiving yards, but as for touchdowns, CeeDee Lamb definitely produced. As for rushing yards, we will check that as well, because you never know, something crazy could happen with that. But CeeDee Lamb was not even considered for a rushing attempt. All right, as for the end of the season for Jerry Jeudy, Jeudy ended the season with 75 receptions for 677 receiving yards for a whopping 7 touchdowns. So a very respectable season for Jerry Jeudy, especially being the 4th option on the list. He did a really solid job, just a little bit less than CeeDee Lamb. So I guess in conclusion, who had the best individual season between the two? It would have to go with CeeDee Lamb, as he had more touchdowns and more receiving yards. We can, I guess, check for rushing yards. Did Jerry Jeudy, by some way, shape, or form, go off for like 1,000 yards? Nope, Jerry Jeudy was not even considered for a rushing attempt. All right, for the Broncos, they ended their season with an 8-7-1 record, good enough for a wild card berth. Right below the Kansas City Chiefs, it looks like Jerry Jeudy production definitely helped them clinch a wild card berth. As for the Cowboys, it looks like CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys turned things around and they clinched a playoff berth going 9-7, as well as the Giants going 9-7 and the Eagles going 11-5. All three of them clinching a playoff berth. Unfortunately, that football team, aka the Washington football team, did not produce, going 1-15. So it looks like both receivers had a positive impact on their football team. As for yearly awards, once again, Drew Brees takes home the MVP award. For coaching, we have Matt LaFleur once again. So very interesting. The previous video I had, the simulation, we had the exact same results of Drew Brees and Matt LaFleur taking home those honors. As for offensive and rookie of the year, we have Joe Burrow taking the offensive rookie of the year for the AFC, with Jerry Jeudy taking 6th place. Again, this was a very deep class for the AFC for rookies, so I wasn't surprised if Jerry Jeudy did not take that crown. As for the NFC, I would be shocked if CeeDee Lamb did not take it, and he did, finishing number 1 overall for the NFC for getting Offensive Rookie of the Year. All right, to end the season with CeeDee Lamb, he finished the 81 overall, bumping up 5 whole overall slots. Very impressive for CeeDee Lamb. He earned himself superstar development, and just looking at a quick glance at his stats, he jumped up in speed, acceleration. Everything looks to be vastly improved for a pretty solid rookie season for him. All right, for Jerry Jeudy, once again, he improved overall. He went from a 76 to an 80, so not quite as much as CeeDee Lamb did, but nonetheless, still earns himself a superstar development and an 80 overall. A very solid rookie season. He has an uptick in speed, acceleration, and catching. All of his route running abilities are in the 80s. It looks like Jerry Jeudy had a solid rookie season, and his attributes show for that. All right, if we're looking at playoff decisions and final factors of how each team did, the Broncos took an early exit in the wild card round to the Kansas City Chiefs, losing 31-21. As for individual stats for Jerry Jeudy, we can go over here to receiving, not blocking, and we can look at Jerry Jeudy. He finished with 5 receptions for 45 yards and 1 touchdown. So he ended his rookie year, I think, on a high note. He had a solid game. Not good enough to win, obviously, but good enough to kind of build some confidence and have some momentum for his sophomore season. As for the Cowboys, well, they are still in the playoffs. They have reached the Super Bowl up against the Cleveland Browns. Who's going to win? Let's find out. All right, if we look at the final results, the Cleveland Browns are your Super Bowl champions. Can't imagine me saying that in real life, but fingers crossed for the Browns to actually pull that off this year with Baker Mayfield. As for stats for the game, it looks like Dak and Baker had solid games, not really much of an aerial attack. But if we look at receiving yards, we can look at the Cowboys, and CeeDee Lamb had a really strong ending game to his rookie year, going 5 receptions for 83 receiving yards. So CeeDee Lamb, once again, like Jerry Jeudy, ended on a high note with some big momentum that will hopefully push him into an amazing sophomore season and not a sophomore slump. All right, that's all I have for today's video. Once again, if you enjoyed today's content, I ask that you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Stay healthy, stay happy, have an amazing day, morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is. Take care, everyone.
What we do here is go back.